On this episode of the Film Optix podcast, we are going to be talking about the next generation consoles and giving our first impressions of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. And we also have some guests joining us as well. So let's jump in. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optix, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I'm your host, Christian, and today we're going to be discussing all the hype around the next generation consoles, the PlayStation 5, and of course, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. And today I'm joined by two incredible guests. We have Ren from the Ren Geekness YouTube channel. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Excited to talk about some games because I have a game, but I don't actually have a PS5 yet. So it's weird, but exciting.
I feel it, man. And of course, we have Zach Pope from his YouTube channel. It's in the name. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. This is great. The way that we're recording is so unique. I love it.
Yeah, it's we've been using this back and forth. Usually we use like a double end recording, but that kind of gets annoying sometimes with like trying to sync up. But yeah, it's kind of like StreamYard, but for podcasting. So I figured it's very simple.
So yeah, 100%.
For sure. But we have some housekeeping news really quick. Before we begin today's topics, you can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeart Radio, and of course, Amazon Music. And you can follow us on social media at Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix. That is Optix with an X. Gentlemen, the next generation, well, for the US, the next generation has arrived. Unfortunately, Ren has not received his PlayStation 5 as of yet, as he is in the UK.
Same shit, different gen. Same shit, different gen, guys. It's always the same thing.
Oh man, I'm just very excited to talk about everything next gen. It's more of a celebration, what we're looking forward to, our experiences with the console so far. Well, me and Zach's experience with the console so far. And for some reason, I thought UK also had the same release dates as US.
No, they have games. They're releasing the games for some reason.
Okay, fair enough. But okay. Yeah. Wait, what's that?
That's okay. I mean, we can get it before you guys. You guys are probably going to get every other movie next year, and we probably won't. So
probably, yeah. I mean,
that's true. I have seen A Quiet Place too, so you guys deserve this.
See, that's what I'm most mad about because right before the pandemic hit, I think Onward was the last movie I saw in theaters, and the next week, like I had to take it for A Quiet Place 1 and 2. It was like a double feature. I was like, this is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be in the Dolby Theater, and then boom, COVID hit. And
dude,
I was like,
same. I had Mulan and literally A Quiet Place, and I saw it got delayed, but they never sent me an email saying if the screener was canceled. I'm like, well, maybe it's not canceled. So I emailed them the next morning. I'm like, is it canceled? And she goes, oh yeah, we forgot to send an email out. Yeah, it's canceled. I'm like, I wonder how many people did show up.
Well, was this through AMC? Or was it through?
It was through just like one of the press outlets out here.
I got you. Yeah, because usually AMC through us, at least here in Nashville, they'll send out like early, screeners and stuff like that. But I wasn't sure. Everyone either goes to Regal or whatever. So yeah, I was very disappointed. So fuck you, Ren.
You're goddamn right.
You can't talk about it with anyone. So how does that feel? You're mute.
Well, I can rub in people's faces that I have a favorite movie of 2021 already.
That is okay. That's fair enough. It's like, hey, you can kind of just create a review and just wait to drop it.
Oh, it's done. It's done. Yeah, because as soon as I got home after the movie, I was like, okay, edit.
What would you do if they changed the majority of the movie? What if they change the majority of the movie?
They won't, because it was the final version of the movie. I guarantee you that. Okay. It wasn't like when I saw Ma. Ma was a completely different story.
Okay. Yeah, because I saw what was it? Oh my gosh, Harriet Tubman with
Harriet.
With Harriet. It was called Harriet.
Terrible.
Apparently
terrible. Garbage.
It was very bad.
That was terrible.
Apparently there was a different cut they got released prior and they changed a bunch of stuff.
That's what they're doing with that Good Joe Bell, that Mark Wahlberg film.
Oh, is it?
They're redoing the whole thing. They're recutting the film.
Huh.
Just like with Zack Snyder's Justice League.
The best thing. It's gonna be the best film of next year. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I'm not. I don't think like I'm here for it. I'm not too crazy about Jared Leto, but it is what it is.
Same.
Give me all the Jared Leto.
Say fair enough. Fair enough. You know, I know he has his fan base. I like Jared Leto. I just didn't like him as a Joker. That was all.
I just think the script was terrible.
Yeah. I still haven't bought that movie. That's the only DC movie.
You know, it's funny. I have it because my dad wanted to watch it, and it's his favorite DC film ever. He straight up told me that. Yeah, he goes, dude, he probably watched it, like, after I showed him it, he probably watched it, like, a solid 10 times that same week. Like, wow. These are the movies that are repeat in his, like, that I hear him watching. It's Armageddon. Suicide Squad. Yeah. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. He straight up watched that film probably, like, 7 times a week. Like, it's
your dad and I would be really good pals if we met, Zach. I'm telling you right now.
Well, he doesn't love Star Wars, Ren. So,
well, I'm not saying movie wise. I'm saying just hanging out. I'm saying hanging out.
Okay.
Terminator: Dark Fate, fucking loved it, and then
really,
yeah, dude, loved it. Like, and he loves the first 2 Terminators. Like, he showed me those, and then like it used to be Predator for a while. He loves Predator. Like, that was like one of the first films he ever showed me. So,
okay, interesting.
All
right. Well, let's talk about some next gen consoles here so far. So, I understand, Zach, you have both the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5.
Yes, yeah, I do.
So, like, I guess obviously, you know, you got the Xbox first. What are your experiences with the consoles like so far?
So surprisingly enough, I've definitely put more time into the PS5. That's just the honest truth, because there's more games to play with it. But I have put a lot of time. I've probably put like 20 hours already into the Xbox too. So, you know, I've played both enough to really kind of get a feel how it should feel. And in general, this is how much time I'll probably be putting in per week on these consoles. The biggest issue, honestly, though, that I felt with, or even having any issues, to be honest with you, is with the PS5. I've had more issues with the PS5 than the Xbox so far.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, which sucks because sadly I'd still recommend the PlayStation 5 because it has more games. Which is funny. Like, my dad was like, I was showing him both the consoles and he goes, "Oh, what games are you playing on the Xbox?" I said, "None." I said, "I have older games to play, but that's it." And then, like, I tested like the quick resume and downloading games, which is insanely fast. Like, it is such a joke how fast games download on both consoles now. Like the Xbox Series X, I downloaded Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2, Gears Tactics, Halo Master Chief Collection, and like one other game, all within an hour and a half.
Ooh,
which
nice.
The last, which
Damn.
and like my internet's good, but it's not great. You know, it's not the best thing in the world. So the fact that that's how fast it did it, like, it doesn't make me upset where I'm like, oh, I got to delete this game because I need space. Because if I want to go back and play that game, I can just re-download it and know within 30 minutes or less, it's going to be on there.
Okay. So for both of your consoles, did you just connect them straight to the Wi-Fi, or do you have the hardline connected in?
I don't have a hardline. No hardline here, man.
Okay. I got you. All right, fair enough. Yeah, because so like yesterday, you know, I was freaking out. I was like putting in our group chat, I'm like, holy crap, my PlayStation 5 won't turn on, and I was completely freaking out about it. I don't know if it's the HDMI, because like it was turning on, like I was downloading a lot of games,
but you were on rest mode, right?
I was.
So that's the issue. So can we just get out of the way real fast the issues kind of going on with the PlayStation 5? So yesterday I probably played it. So like the last 2 days with the PlayStation 5, I probably played a handful of like almost 10 hours each day. I played 10 hours the first day and I played 10 hours the next day. And I'm, you know, the first day I was definitely trying to run it as hard as possible. I want to see how this thing works, you know? It's supposed to be this powerful. So the issue that a lot of people are running into now, and especially it looks like it's with the rest mode, that you cannot put the thing on rest mode. Second off, you also cannot use an external hard drive in the back, which is funny because then they're like, you can use it in the front, but mine doesn't work with the front one because it has to be a 3.0.
Yep.
And the back ones are the only ones. So you can't even use it. But yeah, so apparently there's an issue with the external hard drives where if you have it plugged into the back, randomly your PlayStation will just shut off and rebuild its memory. And that's
exactly what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what's bricking consoles is that the external hard drive. So there's something wrong with it not connecting. And that's where I'm getting about because yesterday it happened 3 times while I was playing Call of Duty. I unplugged the thing and then I played like 5 hours and nothing happened. But the only thing that did happen, I don't know if this is just with Call of Duty, is that the game kept glitching out where it would like kick me out of the game and I have to reload it back up. Which is a common thing with games. I mean, that happens with games. It didn't happen with Miles Morales. We'll see how this is going to go because I am going to play Demon's Souls and Godfall later today before I do my own PS5 and Xbox Series X whole review because I want to make sure that maybe it's just Call of Duty. Call of Duty is the biggest game that I have on the console right now. It's like 200, almost 200 gigabytes. Where the other games are like, I think the next one is Spider-Man Remastered, and that was like 56, which there's apparently glitches with that and that breaking the console. So it really looks like these are the things where with the Xbox Series X, honestly, I've not had a single issue. But it seems like a lot of people are having the same issues with either the rest mode, the external hard drive, and stuff like that. And it looks like it's always those two things, especially with the friends that I've talked about. My friend bought an external hard drive, and then this stuff started happening to him. And then yesterday he got rid of it and took it off, moved everything over because he's playing is Borderlands 3. That's like all he fucking plays is Borderlands 3. And
it's a good game, man.
Yeah, I love it. I rebought it today to play with him because it got the upgrade. So yeah, those seems to be the big issues with it. So we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna probably put another 10 hours into the console today later, after I get done with some work beforehand. But still, I mean, those seem to be the big issues right now. And also, I hate the UI. I hate the fucking UI
of the PlayStation or the Xbox.
The PlayStation 5. I hate the UI.
Really?
I do not like the UI at all.
I'm still working around with it, but I wanted to ask Ren really quick since I know he doesn't have his PlayStation yet. So, I mean, I'm sure he's listening and he's like, oh, shit. So, to recap, so never put your PlayStation 5 as of right now in rest mode. If you are turning it off, just completely shut it off.
Yeah.
And don't have an external hard drive for your PS4 games plugged in on the back. But I wanted to ask Ren and you, Zach, but I know Ren's been kind of quiet for a bit, but he's just been listening. He's like, oh shit.
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes to prepare for not next week because I'm buying mine in Portugal, so I only physically get to it on December 11th when I go home for the holidays. But it's mine next week. Nice. I'll have posts saying it's mine. It's back home.
All right. So I wanted to ask both of you guys. I guess we will start with Ren for this round. Do you think these next gen consoles should have been delayed till next year? I mean, given, I'm sure Ren's been reading up on everything. So,
well, a little backstory before I answer. So a little setup, let's say. I don't consider myself a gamer. I enjoy games for leisure. I'm more of a story gamer. So if a game has a good story, I'll play it, which is why it took me so long to actually play The Last of Us. So as far as going deep into the consoles and E3 and all that stuff, I just see what you guys post and whatever you tag me, and I'm like, yeah, I'm a PlayStation guy. I'll buy the PS5 when it comes out. So I pre-order it, etc. And so if you had asked me like this 2 days ago, I wouldn't have known anything. But having seen what you were posting, having your PS5, what Zach was posting, and seeing your conversations with one another on Twitter, I'm like, yeah, maybe it should have been delayed. Not by much, I think. Maybe until early next year, like late February, early March, which is my birthday, but I'm not biased at all. But yeah, a little bit. Not by much, so it wouldn't be a big delay, But I think it could have helped. I'm not saying it for sure would have helped, but it could have helped, I think.
Okay. Yeah, Zach, so obviously, do you feel the same as,
it's funny. I'm shocked these even came out. I mean, the fact that these even came out is insane. Because you had to work. But I also have to imagine that most of the work was probably done prior to this year. or at least before everything started happening. And now you get to the point of, okay, this is where we're at. We got to figure this out. How are we going to get everything going, you know? But again, that's the thing is I do agree. I think it should have been pushed back. At least, well, I don't know. I think the PlayStation 5 should have been pushed back. I think that was the one that got rushed. I definitely feel like it was. And it, surprisingly enough, it seems like Miles Morales is the only game that's having glitches. I haven't seen too many glitches with Demon Souls or even Sackboy. And maybe that's just because no one's playing Sackboy, but probably me. But that's kind of what I've seen. I don't know if you guys have seen kind of the same thing, but the Xbox, I kind of wish it should have been delayed too, because there's no exclusives. And that's a big thing.
The Halo missing was that was the big thing.
To be honest, they should have had some backups. They should have had a backup or two, at least one or two. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
The Medium getting pushed back now. Again, smaller game, but that's another one that would have at least grabbed someone, you know? It's like people want to play around, and given Gears of War 5 is like technically a next generation game now with the upgrade. It is literally absolutely insane how well that game is running right now. Like, it is insane. Like, Gears 5, I love the game. I think they've done a lot of misses in the start of it, but it's officially kind of better. But definitely Halo, that is a big miss. And I think that was the one thing that they should have been like, you know what? Let's push it back. Let Sony take everything, you know? But then at the same time, I get why they wanted to get it out, because then at the same time, it's like, well, if people get a PS5 first, will they still want an Xbox Series X?
Yeah, that is a really, really good analogy. And it really does suck. I mean, even thinking back, so the 360 did not launch with Halo 3, but I can't even remember what it actually launched with. It usually
I can look it up right now while we're doing this.
Okay.
The 360?
Yeah, because I'm trying to think what it launched with, because the Xbox One and the PS4, there was like nothing besides Rise on the Xbox One, and we had Killzone Shadowfall and Resogun.
and that's why I'll give it credit. PlayStation went, fuck you guys. We got this going right now. We got you Demon Souls, Sackboy, Miles Morales, Godfall. Technically, you know, those are pretty big.
Yeah.
So here are the titles real fast. So the titles were Amped 3, Call of Duty 2, Condemned, Criminal Origins, Perfect Dark Zero,
Perfect Dark, that's right.
Peter Jackson's King Kong, Camino and the Elements of Power.
That's what it was. Yep, that was.
And Tony Hawk American Wasteland.
Oh, I miss American Wasteland. Have you guys played that game?
I have.
Ren, have you?
No, because I'm not a PS5, not a PS5. Jesus, not an Xbox guy. So I never got that around.
It came out on PlayStation as well.
Can I be honest though? I think the best launch for a new next generation is probably the PS3. Dude, you have Genji, Days of the Blade, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Resistance: Fall of Man, and Tony Hawk's Project 8 and Call of Duty 3.
Wasn't Assassin's Creed the first one also on launch?
No.
Assassin's Creed originally came out on PS3, I think. First, and then because there was some kind of originally the Assassin's Creed was supposed to be a new Prince of Persia game, and then they scrapped all that. But I can't remember. I remember it being on PlayStation 3 first for a bit, and then it came out on Xbox. But it's such a blur.
Can I be honest? The PlayStation 5 actually might have a better lineup. Demon Souls, God, I think this might actually be the best lineup for a next gen. And given, yes, I understand some of these games are on the PS4, but from what I understand, they do not run well on the PS4. Like, I watched someone playing Miles Morales and seeing the loading screens and stuff, that's not, you know what I mean? Like, there's definitively something different there. But yeah, so I mean, I think it's between the PS5 and the PS3 for best launch titles, because PS4 was not great. It had Knack. Knack was also another one.
Oh, Knack,
I bought Knack too. I bought Knack as well. I fucking played.
Oh no.
Yeah, I never played the second one though because I didn't like the first one. But dude, that was like Demon Souls hard.
Yeah, that's what I thought about buying it when it first came out, and I was like, I had Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and
that game's amazing.
I had Killzone. Yeah, and I had Killzone Shadowfall as well, and I was like, well, I think Infamous Second Son was coming out that following February after the PS4 came out in November. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll wait for that. And I mean, I always loved Infamous, but it's just so crazy. Sometimes I really do feel like they should have pushed these back. And it's like, I feel like people would have bought them either way, because the Nintendo Switch launched, I believe it was in March or April, and
it was in March because I bought it.
Yeah,
I bought
very
it for my
well
birthday.
for itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 100%. It did amazing. It did great.
And it's, I mean, and I understand, you want to capitalize on, the holiday season, but I mean, given the current state of the world, it's like, I mean, I'm sure, Ren has his PlayStation 5 secured, of course, but
yes.
has anyone known of any of their other friends who successfully got a PlayStation or an Xbox Series X on day one who did not pre-order?
So I have two friends who did. I have two friends who were able to secure one from the PlayStation website and one from Walmart.
Oh, okay.
So,
Ren, what about you?
No, 'cause I guess the ones I know are probably the same as Zach knows. I'm assuming because people that we know from Twitter. But back in Portugal, again, they haven't come out yet, so
Right.
I don't know. But it's one of the advantages of being from a small country. Back home, the PlayStation did sell out. I don't know about the Xbox, but it's rare that it does, and they already got pre-orders from when they have another wave of PS5s near Christmas. So even for the people who aren't getting it next week when it comes out over here in Europe, they already got it secured for the next time a month later.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's crazy, and I actually wanted to bring this up because I know we were talking last night when I was freaking out about my PlayStation. I think I tweeted about it earlier, and like if you are an early adopter of these consoles, I like implore and highly encourage people to buy whatever protection plan from whatever retailer that you have. Best Buy's is fantastic, by the way.
What's Best
I
Buy's?
got mine through game. Well, they have their Geek Squad protection, like,
oh yeah,
especially accidental handling. I used to work for Best Buy when I was in college, and the accidental handling is like fan freaking tastic. Like pretty much, if anything goes wrong with your console, so long as you don't run it over with a truck. Oh, it's broken. Like, well, yeah, no shit. But I'm not sure if anything's changed since then, because I left around like 2014 is when I got a new job, working closer to campus. But it's definitely something to look into if you have bought your next gen console from Best Buy. I got mine through GameStop, actually, thanks to Zach during the second PlayStation 5 showcase. Jim Ryan are like, oh, we're going to give everyone plenty of time to secure a PlayStation 5 pre-order. And then they're like, BT Dubs,
it's
pre-order
up right now.
start tomorrow. Yeah. And then
no,
Walmart's like, nah.
Yeah, GameStop, Walmart, they're like, fuck that, we're starting right now, man.
They're like, nah, fuck that. They're not waiting another day. And then Zach's like, he texted me. He's like, GameStop is taking pre-orders. I dashed to my car so fast.
Dude, I was so pissed because I went right after work. Like literally went right after work because I know the manager there, and I'm like, he told me, he goes, there's a high possibility it could be today. I said, okay. And he goes, if it's tomorrow, I told him, I was like, I'm calling out of work. So I went, which honestly, okay, this sounds really messed up. I'm glad they did this because I'm not waiting till 2 a.m. in the fucking morning till 10 a.m. to get a console. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. Yeah. And so I go there and he goes, they're not up yet. He looked, he goes, they're not there. I'm not joking. I live like 10 minutes away. I drove home. He texted me. He goes, they're up. Literally flipped that U-turn as fast as possible and sped over there. And I was the first one in. And I was like, thank God, man. And then like right after that, dude, like 30 people came in. And I was like, thank God.
Yeah, I'm really glad you texted me because I was like, all right, I need to go like right now. Like there's a GameStop maybe 3 minutes up the road from my place. So I was like, there was one other person in there and I had a PlayStation shirt on just like as a coincidence. And this one guy, he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm here to pre-order a PlayStation 5. And he looks back at me and he saw that I had a shirt on. He's like, actually make that 2. I was like, you son of a bitch.
Oh, they were doing 2? Dude, mine
Well,
only allowed 1 per
well,
person.
the lady that I know at the counter, she said, I'm sorry, we can only do 1 because I know
Okay.
her very well. But like, so she denied it. But I was
That's
like,
good.
yo, he literally tried to get like, because she said they had 2 left. And he's like, oh, he looked at me. He's like, yeah, let me get the last 2. And she's like, we can't do that. It's only 1 per.
Yeah.
And so
What a dick.
thank God. Yeah. I was like, dude, like, really? Like, I mean, I knew that I had a feeling she was going to say something. It's like, it's Sony's policy. It's not even just GameStop's, it's Sony's. We can only
Dude, you know
do
what's
1 per
funny?
customer.
So yesterday, my friend, one of my closest friends still doesn't have a PlayStation 5. So yesterday I saw they went up on the Sony website, so I tried getting him one. It wouldn't even let me buy one because my account's hooked to my PS5. It literally would not let me.
Okay. Yeah, because I actually and I meant to ask Ren, did you get a invitation through Sony, or did you just go to like your local retailer through
Yeah, I went to one of my local retailers physically. I
Okay.
just went there. Do you have a PS5? Yes, we do. And I'm like, okay, disc version, please.
All right, so we all secured that, which is good. Yeah, man, it is crazy how these stories like unfold. And I mean, I didn't really think that any of us would be able to just walk in on Black Friday to try to get one,
No,
but people
not at
still
all.
think there's going to be some kind of discount. And they're like, "Oh, do you know anything?" And they're like, "No, we just work here."
Yeah. They're not going to
used to work
discount
at-
these things right away.
No, not at all. And I mean, GameStop and like Best Buy, they don't even make that much money off the console itself. It's all about the accessories
And
'cause
the
they used to have
warranties
us-
and stuff like that too.
especially the warranties. Which,
Yeah, like I got
again,
my warranty from GameStop too. And I mean, it's not bad for a year. If anything happens, as long as you don't run it over, we'll get you one. But I've already
So
seen
is it-
reports of people having to send theirs to Sony because they didn't buy the warranty.
That
Oh,
sucks.
damn.
So for not Best Buys, for GameStops, because I think I'm going to do the 2-year just because I'm just very skeptical right now. So if something were to happen to our PlayStation 5, do we get a brand new one or is it refurbished?
They get you a brand new one. That's at
Okay.
least what I understand.
Yeah. Well, as of right now, I'm assuming there's no
Yeah.
refurbished.
Well, and like to be honest with you, man, I really do not want to even have to trade it or send it in right now because I
don't
mean,
either.
I mean, even at this point, if I were to give it to GameStop and be like, all right, when we get the next one in, well, when the fuck's that gonna be, man? When the hell are you
Exactly.
gonna get me, another one? That's my biggest question that I have now. And if that happens, I might go buy I just sold my PS4, I might have to go buy another one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I actually just sold mine to my buddy. So I was talking to Ren about it prior to
Yeah.
us recording, and yeah, I mean, he's never really like he doesn't really like PlayStation all that much, and he's very mad that he can't play Spider-Man on his PC. And
Hey, that's his
which,
fault.
I mean,
that's
to
what
be
that's what
fair,
an
I
exclusive
understand.
is, man. That's what an
Yeah,
exclusive is.
and I was a little mad when Spider-Man PS4 first came out. I was like, we finally get like a really good Spider-Man game in like ages since like Ultimate Spider-Man for like the GameCube and PS2 or whatever. I'm like, man, it's a freaking PlayStation exclusive. I mean, I understand why exclusives exist. I don't necessarily always agree. I do honestly wish that every game was available on every platform.
Same.
That is, but I mean, I understand why they do exclusives, but at the same time, it really, really sucks for a lot of people because there are a lot of people out there who can only afford one or the other. And I mean, gaming is it's a luxury hobby. Like we buy these consoles, we insure these consoles, make sure that they're protected at all costs, and it's not everyone can afford both, unfortunately. And that kind of forces people to choose. And it's like, well, I want a PlayStation, but all my friends are on Xbox, so it looks like I'm buying an Xbox. So it's like, and those kind of, situations occur, but I don't know. It's some crazy stuff. But Ren, so I know you already told me, just for like the audience and the listeners out there, what games did you buy for your PlayStation 5?
So technically, the first one I bought or pre-ordered at least with the PS5 is Godfall. Because ever since that game was announced, that little teaser that came out, I believe a little over a year ago for Godfall. I was hooked and I was like, this is a game for me. And up until this point, it still looks like the game for me. So that's one I got. I just got it today. It's right now in my hand. Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, also for the PS5 with a free upgrade for Spider-Man. And I think I'm getting Assassin's Creed Valhalla, also Ultimate Edition, on Monday.
Okay. Yeah, I just got Spider-Man the Ultimate Edition and Demon's Souls. I do want to check out Godfall, but I'm not ready to drop $70 on it just yet.
I understand.
But I'm going to be looking at a lot of gameplay for it. Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's some crazy stuff. So, Zach, you said you already beat Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah, I almost have a 100% in the game. Story wise, and you can't technically 100% it till you do New Game Plus, so you have to play it twice.
Okay.
That's really good show.
So that's not bad. I actually do want to go back through it again with all my upgrades and stuff, which I have. I don't know how they expect me to ever play as Peter Parker again. I really don't. Dude, Miles Morales, like the first Spider-Man game was tough. That game was hard.
It was.
Let me tell you this. I died once, and I was on the same difficulty as the first one. Miles is very overpowered, but I was 100% for that. Like, his Venom Punch is a joke.
Yep.
But maybe I'm just because 60 frames per second, it runs better, so there's no lag. There's no technical lag on that. Like, you feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's really cool, like, jumping in, jumping out. Like yesterday, it was like 9 o'clock, and GameStop was opening at 10. I wanted to go pick up Call of Duty. I'm like, should I play Miles Morales for a bit? I'm like, you know what? I'll hop on. Let's test this. So I hop on. I did like 2 little crime side activities, did another side mission, and then I was done. And it was like in the span of 30 minutes, I did all that. It was just, that's what loading does. That's what the loading does. It's so great. But, so yeah, it probably took me around 8-10 hours to beat Miles. Story-wise, with doing some little small things in between. And then I can probably easily put another 6 or 7 hours in with just the other side stuff. So and you know what? That's fine with me for a game that's not full price. That's totally fine with me.
Yeah. I think, because when I first got my PS5, sorry, this is actually the first day I've actually been able to like sit down. I have like really nothing going on. Been playing through it. I tried a little bit of Astro's Playroom.
That was cool.
One of the levels. It was a lot of fun. I still have Demon Souls. I have not taken it out of its wrapping yet, but I probably will. I'm just like, do I really want to play this game? I'm like, well, Spider-Man's only going to last for so long. I do plan on going back, and because I still haven't platinum The Last of Us Part 2. I've been so busy with a lot of stuff, so I want to go back, restart God of War through 60 FPS performance mode. And I wanted to ask you really quick, Zach. So you played through performance. You didn't do fidelity with the 4K 30.
I tried it. I looked at it, but I'm always, to be honest with you, man, I'm the person that I want the best running thing. It still looks beautiful. Like, it still looks beautiful.
Yeah. I'm on performance as well.
The thing you lose out is the ray tracing. I mean, that's really it. Which the ray tracing looks cool. It looks really cool, but like, I like how my game runs 60 frames per second. That's just how I feel.
Same, dude. I'm ready to hop back in the God of War PS4 at 60 FPS. Let's go.
So, and that's my thing. My goal is to replay that before June, because I don't like replaying a game right beforehand unless it's Last of Us. Don't ask why. I don't know why. I can play that game any time of the day. But with God of War, it's a big game, and I've recognized this where I actually want to replay all the God of Wars again. But my issue is when I do a whole series and then play the next one, I have like no incline to play that game. Like Halo. I know for a fact if I do all the Halo games and the next Halo comes out, I won't even play it. Because I played the exact same game for months on end. And then the new one comes out, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I always do that with...
It's kind of more of the same.
Yeah, and I always do that with like Call of Duty. I'll stop playing Call of Duty before the new one comes out, or else I won't play the new one.
Okay, that's definitely fair enough. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean, and I think that's the beauty of it. I was talking to Ren earlier before we recorded, and this is we had said this is probably one of the best launch lineups And I think even with backwards compatibility, it's amazing. And I love how, with PlayStation minus the PlayStation 1 and the PS4, all the other systems have been backwards compatible. But, the PS4 still did a great job. Granted, some of those PS3 titles and PS2 titles did make its way on the PlayStation 4, of course, with like Jak and Daxter. We had The Last of Us remastered and the Uncharted collection and whatnot.
Dude, they even have the PS2 games are all on there. I was shocked when I saw that in the store.
Yeah.
Like, they have War for the Monsters on there. That's the best fighting game from the PlayStation 2.
It is, and of course, so I wanted to ask both of you guys really quick. Do any of you guys have PlayStation Now or PS Plus?
I have PS Plus. I have PS Plus. Only got it recently, but I do.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys know this or not. So for the PlayStation Plus collection, that nice little game-defining collection for the PS5, if you claim those on your PS5, you are able to download them onto your PS4 through your account and play them.
Oh,
yes.
Oh man, I like this.
And my friend looked at me. He's like, "Hey man, you want to put my account?" I'm like, I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine." He's my co-host. We've been best friends forever. So if you're going to do something like that, if someone has a PS4 and they don't feel like, paying for, I don't know, Days Gone or whatnot, because it's a pretty nice little collection.
Underrated
but I still haven't played it. I have it downloaded on my PlayStation 5, well, my external, but I can't play it now because it might break my PlayStation.
Dude, I love that game so much. It was done dirty by everyone.
Really?
I'm curious. Yeah. I'm curious to play that game. I haven't.
I'll literally tell you this. I'll straight up tell you. I love Death Stranding too, but that game took way too long to get to the great stuff. No, I'll say this about Days Gone, man. It starts like the most generic fucking game you could ever play in the world. Like you'll play this and you're like, this is so generic. I've played this 300 times beforehand, and then once you start upgrading everything, and then the hordes on hordes of zombies come. That's when it gets good. And that's like maybe a couple hours in. Like there was a part where I was scavenging in a bathroom, I remember. And this is the part where I went, this is a cool game. And on my map, I saw like a couple red dots and I said, oh, there's only a couple zombies. Dude, there was thousands of them. And I climbed on top of the bathroom and I just laid down and just waited for them all to leave. And wow. Dude, it took forever. So I said, okay, I got to make a run for my bike. So I jumped and sprinted to my bike. And it's like moments like that made me so excited to play that game. Like that game, when I read reviews for that game, I don't believe they actually beat the game. Like I really don't believe it. I think they played the first 20 to 30, not even 20 to 30 hours. I think they only played the first half because the game changes drastically on the back half. And they and when you think the game's going to end, it actually doesn't. There's a whole nother section of the world that you go to, and it's huge. So, I really don't think people gave it a fair shot. So, fuck them.
No, you're totally fine. So yeah, because I've looked through it, and for those of you, you're trying to, if you have a friend that's PS4, if you have a PS5, if you trust that person enough to, put your account or their account on. See, I don't really know how it works. I'm not sure if the person who has a PlayStation 4 has to put their account on the PlayStation 5, and then from there, you claim them through that account on the PlayStation 5, and thus you'll be able to play them on PlayStation 4. I think that's how it works. I think Wario64 tweeted it out a day or two ago. But I'm actually interested to see. But the only caveat, of course, you have to pay for PlayStation Plus. So you guys don't have PlayStation Now at all?
So I had it, but I don't have it anymore because I have Game Pass. But I've looked into it. I might do it again. When it comes down to a drought of games, I have Cyberpunk coming out in a couple weeks, maybe. Let's put a giant maybe on that.
That's a giant maybe.
But like when I run out of games, that's when I got PlayStation Now last time, was just to play some other games. So that it kind of just depends. I've said this, and I think you may have talked about this. This should be their Game Pass, and I'm waiting for when they're like, look, any first party exclusives, first day they're on PlayStation Now. And
you see, I don't know
think
if
they'll do
Sony's
that.
going to do that.
No, I don't think they will. But that would be their big competitive push.
It would. Or if they just simply, put PlayStation Plus and PS Now into one subscription, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because having, you have your games and whatnot, to have two separate subscriptions that honestly by this time should be bundled together, it's kind of ridiculous, because it's like, okay, it's all almost like you have to like sync up. Like if Ren wanted to play, I don't know, Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time on his PS Now, he has to make sure to sign up for that separately from his PlayStation Plus instead of just it all being together.
Good point.
And I feel like that would definitely help them out. If anything, I don't, since Sony's very old school and very traditional, and sometimes traditionally speaking, traditions kind of don't make sense, but because we're not in the 80s or 90s anymore. This isn't Sony versus Nintendo or Sega versus Nintendo anymore. Gaming should be more accessible in a way. It would be great. Or if there was like, hey, after a year's time, let's say God of War PS5, after like a year's time, or maybe like 2 years later down the road, eventually they'll add it to PlayStation Now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that PS Plus collection is kind of a quick fix for PlayStation 5. Like if you've never played any PS4 games and you're buying a PS5, you can enjoy, still have that experience, which is great. But for me, it's like a lot of those games I own physically. I think the only two games I don't own physically on there, essentially, well, the ones that I'm really interested in, would be Days Gone, because I do plan on playing that. And I think Infamous Second Son. I saw that a while ago. But other than that, I pretty much have all the other big games on disc. So it is what it is. But since we are all movie lovers here, Zach, have you had a chance to check out the 4K player through Xbox or PlayStation?
I haven't even tried it, man. I've used it for the games, but not for the movies. Because I kept my Xbox One X just for that, just to use as a 4K player. So I'm curious, is this one supposed to be like better than it, or?
Well, I'm trying to figure this out, because I remember when the PlayStation 3 came out, I was working at Best Buy. It was when the Slim came out, is when I was working.
I have that thing still.
2010, 2011. Okay. And I want to get another PlayStation 3. Just
same. I literally have it just for games. I literally have it for like Resistance and PlayStation All Stars. Which, Sony, why have you not made another one of those?
No.
It was fun.
I mean, okay, it was fun, but I think they were trying to make it too much like Super Smash Brothers.
Just remaster it. Remaster that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a really good point, Ren. What was this? Oh, so for the Blu-ray player, when the PS3 Slim came out, when they took away that PS2 backwards compatibility, which is what made it so cheap because of the whole system on a chip technical jargon stuff I won't get into. People were buying PlayStation 3s solely because it was rated one of the best Blu-ray players on the market. This is obviously way before 4K, but people were buying it for that. They're like, oh my gosh, like, I hear this is a really great Blu-ray player. I'll buy it for this. If I ever want to pick up some games, I will. And I've been meaning to try out the 4K player because I have a dedicated 4K player already. But, there's a reason why there's multiple 4K Blu-ray players out there, because some are better than others. And, you do get what you pay for. But I'm very curious to find out how well that runs, or how well like the bit rate is and whatnot. But I wasn't sure if any of you guys have heard anything about it, because it really does kind of, it is an all-in-one machine. But, obviously it is more gaming machine. But Ren, actually, I wanted to ask you as well. Have you bought any accessories for your PlayStation 5 before, like prior to getting your console?
No, not just yet. I'm waiting to see. Like, I expect the typical things that come with all PlayStations to come with mine. So I'm not usually a big accessory guy, so I'm still not sure what to get. But I'll probably get something for Christmas, maybe a second remote to play with friends or roommates or something. So yeah, probably a second remote. That's always the first go to, right? When you get a PlayStation, it only comes with one, and you're like, yeah, get me another.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, because I think Zach, you have another controller already, right?
Yeah, I bought one so
Or
me and my girlfriend could play
okay,
Sackboy.
Sackboy. That's right. You were telling me about that. The only accessory I've bought so far is the media remote. I actually picked it up yesterday. My GameStop had one left. Sorry, someone was moving out and they asked me to move my car so they can.
No, you're good.
Take up that
But like I
space.
said, we just spoiled the entire episode, so do not listen back
Yeah.
until you have watched the episode.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
For sure, man.
Because we literally just spoiled the entire thing.
Yeah, we didn't say what happens, but we mentioned
The biggest thing out.
people in it. We mentioned
Okay.
people in it.
Okay, I got you. It's all good, man. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. Yeah, but all right. We are we're back. Sorry about that. Ladies and gentlemen, just had to take care of a little bit of Oh, that's funny. That I figured that's what you guys were talking about. I was like, hey, what are I came back in. I'm like, oh wow, they've been chatting it up since I've been gone. But I kind of wanted to open up the floor to you guys. You know, if there's anything you guys wanted to talk about for next gen, what titles you're looking forward to, any missing features that you've noticed.
The best Pro for the PS5 real fast that we haven't mentioned yet. The best Pro, dude, it's the controller. The controller is fucking awesome. It is really cool. Each game plays so different on it. God, man, I it's amazing. It's straight up the best controller I've ever played. It is so immersive.
Oh,
the
wow.
3D and the 3D audio thing, even better. Oh my god, man. So Call of Duty, there's a guy who put up a video of each gun shooting it and showing you how the trigger reacts to it. So if you're shooting a sniper rifle, it actually, the mechanics, I don't know how they do it, but the mechanics feel like you were shooting a rifle. When you're shooting an AK-47, it locks up like it's an AK-47. So for anyone who's ever like shot a gun and then like actually, it really makes you feel like you're shooting a gun, which is maybe why I'm really good at this game, because I actually am used to the controller. And I don't know if that's actually why, because when you shoot a shotgun, it actually pumps like a shotgun. It is really unique. And then same thing for Miles Morales, when you're swinging around in I thought it was gonna be a gimmick. I really thought it was gonna be a gimmick.
I thought it was too.
My god, this is the best controller I've ever played on. Like, it is so immersive. I really want to give a shout out to that, because I was not excited for this. And I thought the controllers were gonna be like, it's so funny, because like right now I'm playing with the controller and it's like so easy to push down on, but when you play Call of Duty, it actually locks up. And yesterday when my friend, the first game he played on his PS5 was, we played Zombies together, and he goes, dude, the controller is like hard to push down. I think my controller's broken. I said, no, that's Call of Duty. That's literally just Call of Duty. It's so amazing, man. It's so amazing. I just had to mention that. Like, no one's talking about
absolutely.
It's so freaking cool.
It is a very comfortable controller. It is leagues better than the PlayStation 4, and of course, coming off of the PlayStation 3 controller, I don't think I can ever go back.
Nah,
it is a good thing that you can play PS4 control, use the PS4 controller on a PlayStation 3, but I think you can only use a PS4 controller on PS5 using PS4 games.
Yeah, which is dumb, but okay. Well.
It's weird stuff, because, and I'm sure, you guys have seen a lot of videos of getting their controllers early for the PlayStation 5. And of course, with Xbox, everything just works across the board, which is fantastic in my opinion. But for the PS5 controller, it works on a PlayStation 3, but not a PlayStation 4. It's very, very weird.
It's weird.
That's odd. That's really odd.
Some strange stuff. Man.
Oh well, man. That's how it works.
But I wanted to kind of just open up the floor for you guys. If there's anything you wanted to talk about, any new gen titles you're looking forward to.
I'll start on that one. I'll start on that one. Zach and I were kind of talking about it just a little while ago, but ladies and gentlemen, the title I'm most looking forward to, and this won't be any surprise to you two or anyone who knows me listening to this, but please adjust the volumes of your headphones. Boy, that's my most anticipated game. Ragnarok is coming, guys, and I cannot wait. I'm going to be salivating as soon as I see the logo for when the first trailer comes out. Because as soon as they finished like the big event they did last month or 2 months ago with that, I was like, holy shit! Here we go.
Yeah. I was so excited. Like as soon as I saw that symbol, I was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "It's too early. It's too early to be making this announcement right now." But I mean, it's coming. I would definitely say I think Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon Forbidden West has been slated apparently for the second half of 2021, as well as Final Fantasy 16. Which
yes,
is what I'm very,
and God
very
of War.
excited
So
for.
those three are all. So it looks like we're getting Ratchet and Clank in the beginning of the year, and then those three in the back half, which is cool. I'm
very excited.
But I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's going to be more exclusives next year. I think we're going to get one more that we don't know about.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I believe when I was watching the Kind of Funny Games cast, one of their editors in chief or someone from there was saying, I guess he's seen, PlayStation has been scooping up third-party exclusives. We see with Spider-Man coming exclusively for discounts, drug marts, Marvel's Avengers. But I only say that
that's a whole nother discussion. I don't think we see that Spider-Man.
I don't think so. I wrote an entire piece on the Music City Drive-In podcast. I was like, I was so livid that happens. But now, like, the game's it's tanking very hard. Like, the drop of players on Twitch alone is very concerning.
I do not think we see that on the PS5. I think they just give up that game completely. Which, again, I told you, I liked it. But again, it's an expensive game. And it's not like a No Man's Sky where it's like, hey, we can win you back over because we're a cheap game and we can fix everything.
And it was an indie developer as well. So
yeah, and it's not like Battlefront 2, where Battlefront 2 was at least fun to play. There was just a lot of issues that they had to fix, and they fixed them right away. Most of it, like they fixed the microtransactions very early on, and then slowly started adding everything. This is something that they've just been dead silent on the game. So, but again, that's a whole nother conversation, man. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. But I guess, Zach, are there any other games that you're looking forward to? I think that Returnal game looks pretty interesting as well.
Yeah.
Space-esque.
There's a lot. I'm always good for new IPs. So that space one definitely is kind of the one. The Ghost of the Tokyo Ghostwire. That looks awesome. Which is funny because now Microsoft actually owns that publisher. But they're getting that as an exclusive. Deathloop looks cool. I've never been a giant fan of Dishonored though, so I like Dishonored. I'm just not good at stealth games, so like Deathloop just looks more up my alley. But I know Naughty Dog is working on another game, and that's what I'm really excited for, is to see what they do next.
You think it's going to be in space? That's the rumor.
Is it? Oh God, dude, give me it right now. And then there is rumors that they're working on another Uncharted, not Naughty Dog, but another studio, which is rumored to be Bluepoint. It's rumored Bluepoint is making, which Bluepoint hasn't failed me. So Bluepoint wants to take on the Uncharted franchise, but I don't.
Daxter, just saying.
That's what I was going to tell you. I don't think it's Uncharted. I think it's Jak and Daxter. I really think it's Jak and Daxter, because I don't believe we need another Uncharted game for another couple of years. And it'll probably be about Chloe and Nadine. That'll probably be honestly who we follow, or even Drake's daughter if it's further in the story. The other thing I got,
Caitlin Dever, by the way.
Yeah, the other one I got. The other thing
I was about to say that.
When are we getting Last of Us Part 3?
Hard facts, bro.
No,
okay.
No.
I know.
Okay, think about. I think
I want the multiplayer though. I want the multiplayer though.
Yeah, I think. I honestly think The Last of Us Part 2 was. I think it was meant to be a cross-generation game.
I do too.
I don't know why, but like mainly because of like the pressing triangle, X, square, circle, or cross, whatever you want to call it. It's not like your normal colored controller of colored buttons or whatnot, but I feel like we're either gonna get like, I don't know, either a remastered version, because they're gonna do something.
They're gonna do a remaster. They're gonna do 120 frames per
remastered.
second, something huge.
A part 2, and you bet your sweet ass I'm gonna fucking buy it.
Oh, same. Fucking same, dude. Same.
I'm gonna buy it. I don't care. Even if it's a remaster of the first 2 games together, they're gonna do something.
I think they redo the first one completely. I think they redo the first one completely in a new engine, which that first one still looks amazing.
It looks great.
I just played that first one earlier this year before the 2 came out, and it looks great.
So
I love the first one. Like, I can beat that game in like 7-8 hours, because like, I mean, you know what you're doing. At least in the first game, you can breeze through it so quickly.
Dude, when I got that game, I remember I didn't pre-order it. I saw the reviews and I said, shit, it's all 10 out of 10s. And I went to GameStop. I traded in almost every single thing I had to buy it. Bought it, sat down, played it in one sitting, and my life has changed forever. Like, literally, like that. The first 2 games, I mean, the first ones, they're both together for me. I mean, they're both my favorite games of all time.
They are.
Yeah.
So.
They really are. So yeah, and I meant there was one other game I'm looking forward to, Kenya: The Bridge of Spirits. That was supposed to come out this year, but it's coming out early next year. I'm very excited for that.
What's the name, like the first word?
Kenna, Kena. Sorry, I literally. It's Kenna Bridge of Spirits. Something like that. It is. It's coming out for the PS4 and the PS5.
Dude, we're also getting the Hogwarts Legacy next year.
That's right. Oh, and Batman.
Gotham Knights. Yeah.
Very.
I'm not excited for that. I'm not excited for that at all.
I'm more excited for that than I was Avengers. Avengers at first, I'm like, oh, this can be kind of cool. And then I got the game for free through PC. I still haven't played it. I just haven't. I have no desire to play it. I don't.
Dude, I gotta say something right now. Why are we not talking about Bug Snacks?
Dude, okay, I haven't played it yet. Have you tried that game?
No, I don't.
Why are we not talking about Knack 3?
Dude, it's gonna happen. You know it's gonna happen.
You have to make everything comes in 3s nowadays, so
yeah,
it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah, but honestly, out of all the games we talked about, like the one that Ghostwire is the one that I'm probably looking forward to the most.
Ghostwire, yeah, I am too. That I'm Final Fantasy 16. That just blew me away. I was like, please, just give it to me now. That's all I want in life. There's so many games.
Just give me Cyberpunk.
And Cyberpunk, yeah.
I took the weekend off for that too.
Did you guys see the tweet where they tweeted at CD Projekt Red saying, hey, I'm about to take this week off or this day off for work. I need your solid confirmation that it's coming out. It was supposed to be November
19th.
Yeah. And they're like, yes, you can take that day off. And then they replied back by saying, they're like, well, shit. Because they were like, yeah, the game's gone gold. And then they pushed it back. But this also means that it will not be eligible for the Game Awards
until next year.
Until next year. Same thing that happened with Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think it was 2 years ago or last year. Mm-hmm. 2 years ago. Actually, I can't remember. This whole year's been crazy.
Which that's fine. I want Last of Us to win. I'm going to tell you right now, if Last of Us doesn't win, that it's fucking rigged. I'm sorry, it's fucking rigged. It's literally
what other games came out
Ghost of
this year?
Tsushima or Doom Eternal.
I think Final Fantasy 7 remake came out as well.
Oh, and right. Yeah. So I mean, you have 3 big possibilities but I just can't imagine another game taking it. I think Ghost of Tsushima may be the only other one, but even then, like, I loved it, but I wasn't that invested in the story. I was mostly invested in the combat.
Yeah, same. The combat was great.
Yeah.
Ren, did you play Ghost of Tsushima?
Not yet. I really want to, but with the PS5 coming near, I decided to delay my buying of that game. But I still have my PS4, so maybe on Christmas.
Yeah, you'll be able to play 60 FPS on your PS5.
Exactly.
So you're going to get the full console experience, or the full experience of that game.
For sure. I can't wait, man. It's actually one I really, really want to play.
Yeah. Well, sorry, Zach, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I also want to give a shout out to Resident Evil 8. That game looks fucking incredible too.
I might pick that up.
Dude, I really liked 7, but 8 looks like the
Very
next.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it looks really good. Because 7 I really, really liked. It was actually the first game I ever streamed my first playthrough of. It's on my channel. Only like 15 people watched, but maybe even less than that. Like honestly, maybe it's just me that's constantly watching it because I love. But like, if you guys want to see me get scared, like I think it's the one when I fight the grandma or whatever. I literally screamed and fell out of my seat.
I'm like that with Outlast, man.
No,
the games are on
I can't even
defense
play
list.
those. I can't even play those games.
I played with a lot of my fraternity brothers in college, and I mean, we played through the first one. We never played the second one, but we just all huddled around the TV, took turns, and it was just a good time. It was a great time. Great little fellowship there. But I wanted to open up the floor. Was there anything you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap up here? I didn't want this to go super long. You know, you guys have lives and whatnot. I'm just gonna be playing PlayStation all day. So.
Good for you,
dude. I'm gonna be honest. I got nothing. I mean, just please work. Yeah. Please don't break down on me. I'm talking to it right now, looking at it. Please do not break down.
Got a lot of big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Please, Sony, fix the external hard drive issue. Jesus Christ, honestly, that is terrible.
And for the love of God, give us a option or like some kind of inkling of what SSD, NVMe drive or hard drives to put into our PlayStations, because as of right now, that's actually disabled. And I watched Mystic's video on YouTube. He put it in. He's like, hey, this is what happens when you actually buy a drive and install it. When you turn on your PlayStation 5, it says, please uninstall, the drive that you just put in, because and your PlayStation will just shut down afterwards. Like it won't. You have to take it out in order for it to be operable. So that's not even an option right now, which really sucks. But I feel like those SSD NVMe's, because I have one in my PC right now, I feel like those are going to be probably just as expensive, maybe a little bit less expensive than the external proprietary for the Xbox Series.
I think Sony's gonna not say what it is. They want to come out with their own. And it's going to be, I think it'll be an external.
Even if it was proprietary, I'm fine with that. It works. Like, yes, $220 is a lot for 1 terabyte right now. Yeah. But it works.
To be honest, though,
it in, boom, it's done.
Dude, I'm out of space. I have 100 gigabytes left.
Already?
Yeah. I'm out of space.
I might be getting there soon.
And that's, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like 7 games on there. And 2 of those are PS4.
So, So you moved your PS4 games over to the internal hard drive.
Dude, to be honest, I only moved the ones I knew I was going to play right away, which was Overwatch and Ghost of Tsushima.
Fair enough. Yeah. Because they're like, they recommend that you save that space for PS5 games, but it's like, I can't.
Well, they need to put something out. I mean, why are we figuring this out? Why are the fans figuring this out?
Exactly.
That and 1440p is one small gripe that I wish was available, because there might be times where I want to stream on Twitch with my PlayStation 5. I have 2 1440p monitors, but the PS5's not even supported with it. So if I want to hook it up, I can't even take full advantage of my own monitors unless it's a 4K TV. But it's like, I mean, you support 8K and then 4K and 1080p. It's no skin off their back to add in a 1440p resolution. I think that really does need to happen, because there are a lot of people game at their desks. Not everyone games on a 4K TV, and that's just the way it is. But it's just catering to fans, and I didn't really like how they were like, if there's enough demand, then we'll add it. Why does there need to be demand for it? It should just be there, especially when your competitor offers it on the Xbox Series X as well. Like, it's just something that's a small little gripe, but I feel like it can, because like even with I plan on getting a new 4K TV or even a new 4K monitor, but right now there isn't a 4K PC monitor with 120 hertz and HDMI 2.1 support to take full advantage of my PlayStation 5. It's just not existent. On the TV side, there are some Sony TVs, but I want to wait for Samsung to come out with a more affordable one that has 120 hertz refresh rate and that HDMI 2.1 disc or option as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. So yeah, I think we pretty much talked about everything. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on really quick, Ren, before we close out?
No, I'm good. I'm probably and most likely for sure the person with the least to say right now, as I'm more previewing the next gen at the moment. But I'm good. I said everything I wanted to say. So thank you for giving me the time.
Oh, of course, man. I'll be sitting here taking all these notes. He's like, these dudes are freaking crazy. PlayStations and Xboxes having all these issues. But yeah, so for all the listeners out there, make sure you ensure, buy the protection plan on your console if you are an early adopter. It can really save your skin, because the warranties that Sony offers, they're finicky about it to begin with. They only offer so much coverage. Usually if something is defected out of the box is when they'll cover it. But that does conclude today's discussion about next gen celebration. I want to thank everyone for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on the platform of your choosing, and make sure to check out the other podcast shows on the Drive-In Podcast Network over on the Music City Drive-In website at musiccitydrivein.com. The link will be in the description of the podcast episode. Zach and Ren, tell everyone where they can find you online and what's coming up on your channels.
Who goes first? Zach? You? Me?
I'll go first. You guys can find me on Zach Pope. Just type that in on YouTube, and you can find me over there talking movies, games, TV, all sorts of great stuff like that. And I'm also over on Ren's channel once a week, except this upcoming week because I'll be on vacation.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Ren, you got to find someone to replace me for that week.
Shit.
But yeah, so we do a podcast called Geeks of the Round Table, and it's freaking awesome. You guys can go check it out.
Yeah, we do it every week, every Thursday. So I'm gonna need a co-host this week. So it's time to start searching. And you guys can find me everywhere: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Ren Geekness. I do all sorts of movie reviews. I also have 2 podcasts, not only Geeks of the Round Table, but Origin Story, which I interview one of your favorite movie or TV or YouTube personalities in general and talk about their origin story. Let them tell it. So come check that out.
All right. Well, yeah, and of course you can follow us, Film Optix, Optix with an X.
Optix is amazing.
Yeah, me and my buddies Evan. He's finally in the console ecosystem after a long time. We both played on 360 and Xbox One for a while, but I think he felt a little bit betrayed when I got my PS4 altogether, because I saw Kingdom Hearts 3 and I saw PlayStation. I was like, I want that. He's like, what's coming on the Xbox? I'm like, yeah, but I kind of wanted for PlayStation, and I really wanted to play Infamous. So I think he felt a little betrayed, but he is entering back into the PlayStation 4 console space. So I sold him my old PS4. So hopefully he already bought Miles Morales. I gave him my old Spider-Man copy because, face changes, and for whatever reason, I just... and I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, I hope he enjoys that. Of course, you can listen. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix. That is Optix with an X. My name is Christian. That was Ren and Zach. Thank you guys both so much for coming on. Always great to talk about video games and whatnot. And I'm sure we'll have multiple discussions in the future as, we nerd out and nut out about all this craziness that's going on in the gaming realm.